Evening everyone, hope you're all good. So we got the pullback from Bitcoin as suspected. But look, the volume on the push out is nowhere near as the volume that came pushing down. And even if we look at the 4 hour, the volume of this breakout, in theory, we have retested and we're pushing out, but we're not seeing a strong push out there, and we're seeing no real volume to come in with it as well. So this is a warning sign. I still think in my heart of hearts it's going to come down. It's holding itself well now, but I think it's going to come down. But there is some positives here. If we look at the volume, look at that, it's a tiny wee uptick. But it's the first uptick we've had. It's been a while. So what's end of January, end of January that was. Now we're just getting a wee uptick here. So if this starts moving up, just as we're finding a low here, this should show the move that's coming. It can be trusted. It will be moving up. It's got volume support of it, which is good. Let's have a look at the liquidity levels. Right now, just in the last 24 hours, we've got more people going long. We've got a big chunk of liquidity there, around about 60 million. Just at 94,300. So I would imagine I would at least come for this. And if we look at the 7 days, 1.7 billion long, 1.3 billion short. So the majority in the last 7 days is long. What does it tell you? When the majority is long, the chances are it's going to do the opposite. So in the 7 days, it feels like it's going to liquidate the longs. But if we look on the bigger scale, the shorts are the huge player in it. So 7 days, we've got the longs, so this might coincide with the move coming down here, because it wants to take the longs, because the last 7 days, that's where the money is. But on the bigger picture, it wants to move up and take all the shorts. So the liquidity ties in with this move. Come down. This liquidity here is 2.7 billion in this box. Come down here, take that liquidity, and then take the bigger move up. The liquidity lines up with this move here, and psychologically scare everyone out, retest the whole range, and do a hard reset on this move, and it's complete. So it should come down. I say it should, it can do what it wants, but my guess is it's going to come down. Let's have a look at the last 24 hours on the heat map, see how that's looking. Yeah, it's starting to, you could see that was the big spike that we saw here. So the last 24 hours, starting to get busy there. So let's just have a quick wee day on the 3 day. Starting to build up a bit top, bit bottom. And on the weekly, yeah, there's still a chunk here. So, fear and greed, still staying strong. I mean, people are not budging from it. I think to get the reset of the fear to complete this range move, this range move isn't going to be complete just on constant greed and neutral. It needs a shakeout to complete the range and final flush down. Just like it done here, and just like it done here. So you look at the weekly, come down here, and then once it comes down here, it should retest this trend line. That'll be good, because once it retests this trend line, we can then set the fourth trend line. And then this is where we're expecting price to move to. So it's going to come up here, hit the top of range, say breakout. Now, how far it goes, I don't know. This is a nice cluster of Fibonacci levels, 180, 175 to 180. But if the real estate cycle is to finish, this is the 18-year cycle, 18-year cycle. If this is to finish this year as expected, this year, next year, these big 18-year cycles don't just finish on a wee pop here. So there is a chance it just goes absolutely off on one for the final finale. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to keep it as it is here, and we're going to track it up to here. Now, I have my own system and I've got my own exit triggers. This is just a rough roadmap, a visual for us to see on how things might play out. But if we get up here and we haven't broken down on the trend and my triggers haven't been hit, I'm still holding this, I'm riding this up. My whole system is to ride the trend up until pretty much very close to the end. And then what will happen is I'll get myself out a certain percentage of my portfolio on certain triggers, and then that scoops up a good average around the top from a Bitcoin exit. So as we see it now, we're just waiting for this to come down and make its final flush. I mean, since December, it's November, end of November. Been a long few months this, so we're ready for this. And the good thing about these ranges, you get when price just dumps down. Whoop, sorry guys. When price just dumps down like that and just bounces up, that's price capitulation. That's when the price is too much for someone and they just have to sell. But what Bitcoin likes to do, especially in this cycle, is do a time capitulation where it doesn't do anything. It ranges and it just keeps on going on, and then eventually they're like, I give up, I give up, I give up. Everyone's given up, thrown the towel in the range, and then flush before the big move up. And that final flush, all this time capitulation is just everyone sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. And then this push down here is just the final nail in the coffin, and it just, anyone that's thinking about selling, that forces them to sell. And then that's the reset and push up. And that's what we're seeing here. Tell you what, it's not a bad wee doodle there for a free hand away from the chat. But that's what we're waiting for. And then this will give it a good hard reset. So hopefully, guys, another week max, maybe 2 weeks max, we'll see this move come down. That's my prediction. And then from there, this will make the setup so much clean. It's so much, there's no doubts in people's mind. It's like, that's the hard reset. It's done the range, it's retested all the support, and then off it goes. So it makes price action a lot more clean. If it just went from there, it would be a bit kind of like, how am I going to set this angle? Has it retested it yet? It still needs to come down and retest it. Will it come down and retest this? But if it comes down and does the retest, you're now open for the final run on it. So hope you guys having a good weekend if you like this. This daily updates I just want to be someone consistent in this crazy market. You know, someone you can rely on to be there every single day and guide you through these markets, because honestly, when this comes in the next week or so, everyone's going to be freaking out. But if you're watching these videos, you know this is coming. So you don't freak out, you don't sell. You know this is coming. We're looking for this. So that's all I want to do, guys. I want to just try and help you all out, you know. But I think that'll do it for tonight. I'm kind of half asleep myself. Aye. So have a good one, guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers.